Thank you for stopping by and welcome to the channel. In today's video we'll be going on the Maligne Lake boat cruise. So it's a short walk from the parking lot to the gift shop and the restaurants and the boat cruise. So let's head towards the gift shop because we're a little early. Historic building. Public washroom. Oh, they got waffles here. Be sure to take a photograph from the lookout here. And the building in front is the historic boathouse, originally built by famed explorer Donald Curley Phillips. You can rent your canoe and kayaks here. So straight ahead is the gift shop and a couple of restaurants. On my right is where you can get the waffles, and on my left you can buy your tickets for the boat cruise. We pre-booked our tickets already. So let's go in and check out the gift shop. Yeah, same stuff as the other shop. Hey, this one's not bad. The mountains are calling. So this is the patio of one of the restaurants. So we came early before our time of our cruise. So we have to wait, so we're gonna get something to eat. In the other half of the patio is another restaurant, which is dine-in, but they are closed right now. Restaurant, the view, you help yourself. Basically, they have chili, hot dog, french fries, poutine,
soup, salad,
yeah. But you help yourself, and then you come out here. And the other one's waffle hut. The kids didn't want it, the waffles. I wouldn't mind having one. And you get a beautiful view of the lake from the patio. And straight ahead is where you get on the boats for the cruise. Got a map of Maligne Lake model. You are here right at the front. What I find is kind of bogus is they let the private boat tour group go right to the front of the line, even though if you get there earlier. So let's get aboard our tour boat, the Curley Phillips. If you want to save a little bit of money, you could buy the boat cruise in a package where they offer you the Columbia ice field, the gondola ride, and the boat cruise. That's what we did, so we had to pre-book the date and the time of our tour. Just as we board on the back of the boat, look at the beautiful view of the mountain range. Afternoon. Let's go.
Is that a good? You want to go up here with a
They say the best time to visit Spirit Island for photography is late afternoon around 4:30 p.m.
It's nice to have a parade every month. It's like a poster, right? Where you look.
you're thinking about renting a canoe and paddling to Spirit Island, they say it'll take you roughly 4 hours to get there one way.
How is everybody doing this afternoon? Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Just kidding. So how can we not be doing fine? Look around us. It's gorgeous out today. Thank you for bringing that sunshine. Again, if you guys were a couple weeks ago, it was just completely raining and actually snowing. So whoever booked your ticket, give them a good pat on the back. Okay, I see a lot of people patting their own backs. Good for you. Questions throughout this tour, please just give me a wave and I'll try my best to answer it. So we're going to be passing our sister vessel here to Samson Beaver. Let's give them a wave. There we go, and we'll just have a little fun. Before we really start this tour, you guys are more than welcome on the back deck. I just have to give a safety speech again. We've been open since the 1928. We've never had a case of evacuation or even a death. So again, it's safe hands. You may notice Captain Jordan here. Although for our larger vessels, our sister vessels, we will cross them at full speed if we can, creating these things called wake crossings, which essentially gives us a mini roller coaster ride. So again, I will warn you before this happens because I don't want your cameras and such falling off and out of the boat. If they do fall into the water, just raise your hand. I'll raise my hand as well and we could wave goodbye to it together. But like I said, you guys are more than welcome to go on the back deck. We'd like to keep it to about 8 people on the back deck. I just have to keep my eyes on you, and if there's any more than that, I get a bit confused if that enough. Okay, I'm sorry. Again, we like to remain courteous and please share the back deck with your fellow passengers. We remind you guys that you do not sit on the back deck. Again, I have to have my eyes on you. Do not lean on the railing. It wasn't built for human weight. And at the back deck, I'll try my best to remember to warn you there is an intercom here for wake crossings. But other than that, that is the duration of my safety speech. And welcome to Maligne Lake. Yeah, you guys can totally go on the back deck now. We will all get to visit Spirit Island for 15 minutes. And then on the way back, I'll give you guys' ears a break and we'll put down the mic for the majority of it. We've got mountains. Any other guesses? Okay, we've got trees. Yes, perfect. A lot of people say rocks, which is great, but that's usually not the answer I'm looking for. Ice cap. Wow, we got a poet on board today. But again, welcome to the backcountry of Jasper National Park. It may not seem like that as we are in the biggest and comfiest boat that we own in Shirley Phillips, but we definitely are. So you'll have noticed quite some time ago along the way came up here today, you would have lost your internet. Unfortunately, no more Facebook, no Instagram, no McDonald's, no Tim Hortons. It is this pure rugged country and environment. Is this volume okay with you guys so far still? Perfect. And so we had a lot of trees, we have lots of mountains, lots of water, lots of rocks, ridges, valleys that you'll notice. Right hand side. Well, what do you guys think happened there? is a good guess, but unfortunately is not the answer. So somebody did guess the forest fire. Any guesses on when this forest fire may have happened? So this forest fire would have happened 19 years ago. So in the year 2003. And when this forest fire happened, actually one of our boat captains noticed it. So what you're seeing here on your right hand side is actually the most healthiest part of the entire forest. So all around us, we're predominantly surrounded by lodge pole pine trees. And we did have a guess earlier about pine beetles. So unfortunately pine beetles did not cause that burn scar. But you'll have noticed amongst the sea of green, you'll get a tad bit of red. Actually a bit more than a tad, a whole lot of red. Dealt with the pine beetle. But because we've naturally suppressed forest fires, the pine beetle has actually had a chance to really multiply in numbers. And that is because the age of the trees. So because again we naturally suppress fires, we've interrupted their cycle of growth. So we estimate that these trees are about the age of Canada itself, so around 150 to 55 years. So again, 150 years these trees would be around. And if we were actually to take a walk in this forest, it would be extremely dense, extremely our first day crossing of the day. So let's give a friendly wave. We are now passing Elisa L. Alright, and we'll have a wake crossing in 3, 2, 2.5. Woo! So again, a miniature roller coaster, if you say. So we had a question about what we are doing about the pine beetles. We essentially can't do anything about the pine beetles, unfortunately. The tree, the blackfoot, and the stonies. So I'll mainly be talking about the stony people today. So the stony people, or the Agifka in their language, Agifka meaning mountain people, believed, and this would have included all the indigenous people as well, believed that wherever they roamed, wherever they were, that was their home. So essentially wherever the sunlight touched them was their home. So this was their home as well. And they wouldn't have resided here all year round. Again, it gets extremely cold in the winters. You guys may have noticed driving up long spring. So again, the stony people would have resided here in the summer months. Would have been vacationing here just like all of we are now. They would have hunted here, and they would have performed ceremonies. One of the reasons why we know that is because that is the Maligne mountain range, and that actually starts behind the totem pole at the town of Jasper. So if you look behind that totem pole when you get back to town today, you'll notice the mountain, that's Signal Mountain, and that is the start of the Maligne mountain range. So again, how we knew the Stonies knew that this lake was incredibly deep. So deep, in fact, that you could place the Statue of Liberty at the deepest part of this lake, and you wouldn't even notice us driving over it. And they knew that information by looking at the shores of the Maligne Lake and at the angle the shores enter the waters. And again, they wouldn't have had the technology like we do now to know that. So again, indigenous people, they just made ceremonies and heal oneself. The other name they had for this places, Chaba Ime in their language means beaver lake. There aren't any beavers in this lake. If you do see one, that would be a first for sure. Perfect. Let's say how to go ready. And I'll have a wave crossing here in about 3, 2, and this 1. So the elevation of the lake is actually 1,700 meters above sea level. So you'll find that it's a bit cooler than when you're in town. They would have been really pretty established already. Whereas if you were to come down north to Jasper, it wasn't really established, and there are actually no roads to Jasper back in the early 1900s. So we actually had an American lady by the name of Mary Jasper who came to this area with her husband in the late 1800s. And Mary Jasper and her husband Charles would come to Canada. Luckily for Mary Jasper though, she met a man on her way back with her party, and this man was named Mountain Beaver. Mountain Beaver, being from a prominent Stoney family, had been to the lake before once in his childhood, and from memory he actually drew her a map in the mud and gave along this knowledge to her. And Mary Schaefer the next year, being incredibly thankful, took this knowledge, and in 1908 her party set out again. We'll have a small wave crossing here in a few seconds. They built a raft along the shore of the Maligne Lake, and in 1908, Mary Schaefer and her party took the first ever photo, an iconic photo of Spirit Island. So after this adventure, after this great discovery, if you will say, Mary Schaefer was asked to come back and help give her that knowledge to find the lake as well. And you'll notice there's some patches of trees that have been knocked down. That's due to avalanches. So we actually call that one we just passed the Mountain Slide. And Captain Jordan here was extremely fortunate. So about a week ago, he was on tour, and him and his guests actually saw an avalanche come down the mountain. So I mentioned in the winter that we get about 3 feet of ice over this lake. It freezes completely. The only thing that could break through the ice would be an avalanche. So if you look just past the shoulder of Mount Jasper, there is your first glacier of the day coming into view. And that glacier is called the Maligne Glacier. So it's just nestled just at the end of the Sandpiper Valley, about 8 kilometers away from us. You guys can't quite see it. That white would be the snow, and that kind of gray, very, very light bluish area, that would be the Maligne Glacier. Sure. You can and if you guys were brave enough and were to summit Mount Jasper, you would actually notice that we're only seeing about 5% of the Maligne Glacier. So again, Jasper. You guys can see it, right? And so both of these glaciers and Unwin Mountain and Samson Mountain would all be a part of the Canadian Elizabeth mountain range. So you guys all know the Canadian Elizabeth things, right? Carlton, there's like a few stacks of rocks that is in that corner over there. The reason why we gave it this mountain range to her is because that looks like a teapot, and we all know how the British love their tea. But can anybody see that teapot? It's called tea kettle tea. Yeah, but we, in actuality, we named it the Queen Elizabeth Mountain Range in 1953 when the Queen herself got coronated. So Canada gifted her with a big old stack of rocks in the middle of nowhere. And unfortunately, if you've been to Jasper 3 times and have never seen this beautiful mountain range, and it's actually incredibly rare. So you'll notice here. Alright, and you know what that wave means? You're gonna have a wave crossing here shortly. In the Samson Narrows, and that's where Samson, Tony, Mary Jasper would have spent their time back in the day. But as we round the corner, you'll start to see Spirit Island come into view. So I'll just ask everybody to remain seated and just to stay inside the boat as we will be docking at Spirit Island shortly here. So to your guys' left-hand side, we have a bit of wild Canadian. It would have taken about 4 to 6 hours to get to Spirit Island. We had a captain do it last week. Did it in 2.5 hours. Yeah, he's dead now. I'm totally joking. He was just extremely tired. And we have the lovely Spirit Island on your guys' left-hand side, and it's incredibly sacred to the snow people, so actually nobody's allowed on it. So as we're looking at Spirit Island, you guys are looking, I actually just wanted to divert your attention, so just opening up slowly to your right hand side is something we like to call the Hall of the Gods. So Mary Jasper believes the lake to end here. This is only 14 kilometers. The lake in a whole is 22 kilometers, and she enters the Hall of the Gods while she's sitting on the shores of Maligne Lake, she figures that if all the gods above were to come to Earth and hold a meeting at our party, they would come here, they would all have a throne to sit on. So just keep that in mind. I believe the Hall of the Gods really adds to the story of Spirit Island. So as Captain Jordan brings Kelly Phillips to the lovely shores of Maligne Lake, I just would like to remind everybody to remain seated. So we'll get 15 minutes, 1-5. Don't worry about keeping track of the time. We'll do that for you, and we'll honk a really loud, obnoxious horn, unfortunately. If any of you guys did want to become mermaids today, that is more than welcome. So like,
here's a tip: if you want to get on the island first, sit at the back of the boat. So we have 15 minutes to walk along the path that loops around. So we're gonna take the high route and then come back on the lower route. The gorgeous blue waters of Maligne Lake may look very tempting for a swim, but the glacier-fed lake remains cold for swimming year-round. So Spirit Island isn't actually an island most of the time. During the spring, with the melting snow and the heavy rain and high water level, it's an island. But during the rest of the year, it's connected to the shore. Spirit Island is world famous and one of the most photographed places in the Rocky Mountains. Apple used an image of Spirit Island when they launched their 2014 iPad. You may have seen a picture of Spirit Island in New York City's Grand Central Terminal in August and September of 1960. The island is surrounded by emerald blue glacier waters, surrounded by mountains that form the Box Canyon, referred to as the Hall of Gods. There's only two ways to reach Spirit Island, and they are both by boat. The vast majority of people who visit Spirit Island will come by the popular cruise tour, as we did here. The other way to visit Spirit Island is by personal watercraft, such as a canoe or kayak. No internal combustion engines are allowed, but small electric trolling motors are permitted. It's supposed to be cold. Hey, thank you.
Picture about. Do you have a picture?
Yeah, I do.
What do you?
You may have noticed that the color of the water is different at Spirit Island than where the cruise departs at the Maligne Lake docks. The further south on the lake you travel, the closer you get to the glaciers, and the more emerald colored the water becomes due to the presence of rock flour from the glaciers. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Still in there. Notice the water is more blue over there than here. So on our way back to the hotel, we saw these mountain goats and other animals. Look at this guy's skin. He's hanging. Oh, look at that. Deer. Maybe not deer. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, and hope to see you at our next video.